I'm Gary Barg. I'm founder and editor-in-chief of today's Caregiver magazine, caregiver.com. I got into caregiver support the way that so many people that I talked to over the years. It's something that happened to me. I was living in Atlanta, and my mom had cared for my dad, passed away in '91 from bone marrow cancer. And at this point, everyone lives in South Florida, where I live now. She was caring for my grandmother and my grandfather, and she never asked me to come home. She, caregivers, she just didn't want me to suffer with what she was going through. But I heard in her voice on one of our weekly phone calls that something was happening. So I decided to go down and see what I can do, help her out, do some support. And well, it was the most intense, emotionally painful, challenging 2 weeks of my life. We always say when you become a family caregiver, you become the CEO of Caring for Your Loved One, Inc. You have to deal with every aspect of this new organization that was put together to help them and care for them as much as you can. Mostly you are the organization. But the challenge is that you now have to manage so many different things immediately that are just coming at you, that it's really important to be able to analyze and assess the different aspects. Medication management, dealing with the doctors, and also how do I partner with my loved ones, possibly, who would pay for what, and how do I manage that, and how do I, make sure that we don't run out of funds. So you really become, I guess, the chief financial officer of this new corporation as well. Being a caregiver is an absolute labor of love. It's exhausting, and you're going to do it because you're going to step up and care for your loved one and do what needs to be done. But it can just literally swamp your entire world. Stanford University came up with a study, and they said that if you're a caregiver of a loved one who's dealing with cognitive issues, Alzheimer's, FTD, you are 40% more likely to die before they do. That's the bad news. The good side of that is we know why. Due to the effects of stress. Simply due to the effects of stress. So if we could find a way to mitigate the stress, if we could find a way to do whatever we can to try to, laugh or talk to people we care about, or not lose our connections, or not just get isolated, there's a way to make sure that the stress doesn't take you down. The best part about being a caregiver is many times you are able to share moments with your loved ones, and laughs and hugs, and you're making a difference in the life of somebody you love. I learned now firsthand that caring for yourself is job one. It's not selfish, it's selfless. If you fall apart, who's going to step in and care for your loved one? Have you figured out who that person is? And mostly not. So the idea of caring for yourself, of maybe getting some help in, of maybe getting a break, is not selfish. It's what you need to do to be the best caregiver you can be for your loved one, for yourself, and for your fellow family members.